have some exclusive NASCAR 25 gameplay. Before we dive into this, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone at iRacing Studios and everyone who is involved in NASCAR 25 for inviting me and fellow content creators to a behind-the-scenes look at some NASCAR 25 gameplay. In this video, we're going to watch some exclusive Daytona gameplay with the NASCAR Xfinity series. And there is a lot to talk about in this one. So enjoy some of this gameplay, and then in a little bit, we're going to talk about it and break down what we saw. Enjoy.
The fans are ready, and this NASCAR Xfinity Series race is about to get underway. So now, the words you've all been waiting for. Drivers, start your engines!
Time to go. Good luck out there. Be ready now. Green, green. Outside door. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Outside. Stay low. Clear high. Car outside. Two to go this time. Hold your line. One up high. One high. One outside. Three wide. One inside. Clear high if you want it. One on the bottom. Clear low. One high. White flag, keep it up. One high. Clear outside. Stage points, baby. Good job. Pit road is open. You good?
All right, so we've reached now the end of stage number 1 here. So now I want to really talk to you guys as we're watching this gameplay here. So immediately right off the bat, you can see after stage 1, we switched to a immediate night transition. Now, if you ask me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this. There is no accurate day to night transitions in NASCAR 25. Some may be a little disappointed about that. I know some people who really want that realistic experience of running a full-length race want that. I'm not the biggest, you know, like negative antsy about it, but I do understand where people are coming from with that. because you do want to see that sun set. You want to see the track naturally change and everything. So, not sure if this is going to be something that can be changed in NASCAR 25, but hopefully in a future installment. But so far, I gotta say, so far with the plate racing, it's been really fun to see the AI here at this plate race. Already off the bat, you can tell the AI is a lot smarter than the NASCAR Heat 5 AI when it comes to working with you and changing lanes and going to different places. I mean, we all remember the top in Heat 5 was just non-existent, right? Now you can actually see that bump drafting is a huge part of this plate package. When you actually bump draft, see Carson Quaffle gives the 94 a shove here and at least keeps up his speed. Tries to block him right here and is going to come down to the bottom here to get in line with Eric Almirola. Another thing, too, that I noticed that Matt didn't mention in our talk was the AI is set here to where it's going to try to avoid you from contact. I noticed when early on when he went up to get closer to Harrison Burton that Harrison actually moved away from him. So it looks like the AI doesn't want to wreck you, but it's because the AI is actually set to that. So I'm not too concerned about this. But look at that bump draft, guys, right there. The bump drafting in this looks so much fun. And then right here, now this is a big talking point right here. Watch as Mike tries to wreck the 7 here. Yes. All right. That is a crash. That is a crash. So I'm going to let this whole clip play out and we're going to talk about it. So there is your first taste of the damage physics and the wreck physics. So let's talk about this for a quick second and break down what we just saw. So right here when he tries wrecking him, like Allgaier's not really registering the contact. Then again, he gets a little wobbly. Contact again. Wobble, wobble, wobble. He looks like he's about to wreck right there, but the contact insists. And then here, the wreck doesn't look too bad. Nothing too crazy cosmetic-wise. But if you look in the back here, the AI just all stays above that double yellow line and doesn't try to avoid the wreck. It seems like an immediate brake check. So now, why is this a little bit of an issue, in my opinion? Now I know AI is not an easy thing, right? For any video game whatsoever. This is the first year of NASCAR 25, so I'm not going to sit here and say that the AI needs to be flawless and 100% perfect the first go around, right? Like that's not what this is all about. It's not what I think we should be aiming for in year number 1 here. However, the one thing I will say that does kind of raise me a little bit of concern is just seeing how the AI reacted to the crash. It just seemed like the whole field just came to a sudden stop. And that's where I kind of want to raise my hand and be like, is there any way we could fix that? Because naturally you want to see guys try to avoid the crash by going, low, or they try to go to a different alternate route and then hit the brakes a little bit. The whole field just kind of checks up there. And it really reminds me a lot of NASCAR Heat 5 in a way. At the very least, the AI is not coming into you and trying to bulldoze you as the caution is already out. But, I guess that's better than them just pile driving into you and giving you more damage. But maybe down the road, we can work on the AI a little bit more. And hopefully we can get to an AI standard where the cars actually try to avoid the crash and everything. Kind of adds a little bit more to the realism of what these drivers would actually do to avoid a crash here at Daytona. It's not a crazy thing. Again, that's not really a game breaker to me. It's more of something that is more of like a cherry on the top, if I may say that, to the racing experience. So hopefully that's something that can be fixed on down the road. I don't expect it to be fixed by launch, but if it does, awesome. If not, I'm still going to play the game. Also, I want to mention the very tiny race number on the running order right there. Might just be a little bug right there, but if not, that might need to get fixed right there so you can actually read what car number you are. Also, one thing I want to mention here is the car status on the pull down menu here. Really loving all the detail. It really seems like the damage is very accurate to the contact we had with Justin Allgaier there. Didn't really seem like it was race ending, but you could definitely tell the arrow is a little killed. Engine should still be okay right there. It's yellow on the front bumper there. All of our tire wear as the race progresses. Another cool thing I noticed right there too, we actually do have tire wear at these plate races. And I did notice a couple times though, as he was getting out of the corners from that high banking to that flat banking, you notice the rear of the car was actually trying to kick out a little bit and got a little loose. So actual handling and tire wear at plate races combines for an incredible experience for the average player. Also, one thing that was confirmed to us for NASCAR 25, there will be no live pit stops under caution. However, they will be there for green flag runs and green flag pit stops, etc. So you will have a similar animation in regards to iRacing pit crews, but it will not happen during the caution. So what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of talk through it together and watch the final stage of Daytona together and just kind of talk about it. And as I've already seen this a couple times, but as we're watching it together, I can tell you what I'm seeing. So right off the bat, we can tell graphics-wise, animation, just smoothness, looks great, right? Graphics look great. No complaints about that whatsoever. You can see us as we're getting through the gears here. The little hovering blue, that little hollow blue lighting right there, just kind of tells you that you are in the draft at the moment. So just a neat little feature just to make sure that you know as the player that you have the draft. You can also see a little blue icon on the bottom there for draft as well that you do have it. So right out the bat here, the AI showing a little single file. Still trying to get that second lane working now, but they're not doing anything at the moment with about 8 laps to go in the race. And now the inside line, they're all going to get to that bottom now because there's no momentum. But the back of the field is still sitting there 2-3 wide if you look in the mirror right there. So really shows you, I mean, it's pretty realistic to what the Xfinity field does at this situation, right? You have most of the top of the field isn't really going to start moving yet till about maybe 6 laps to go, maybe 5 laps to go. But right at the bat, you see Sam Mayer and Sheldon Creed. Teammates, or is that Eric Almirola? Can't tell if that's Mayer or if that's Almirola up there. I think that might be Almirola. That is Almirola. Okay, I thought we saw some teammate AI work there for a second, but yeah. So now the top line is trying to work here with Almirola and Sheldon Creed, and you can tell that the cars on the bottom definitely have better momentum at the moment. And right now, we're just trying to figure out which lane do we want to go to, right, the bottom or the top here. Which lane is going to have the best momentum at the moment. And right now, no lane is really having that momentum at the moment. But as you can tell, we're going to give a little bump to Sheldon Creed here. And he's going to get right to that back bumper of Almirola in the 19. He's going to give him a little shove here. And all of a sudden, the outside line starts to have a little momentum here. They're starting to get a little bit of a run here through the middle of 1 and 2. The bottom does prevail here, usually prevails on the bottom in 1 and 2 here. But this is where the outside starts to get a little bit more momentum here. As you can tell, they are getting a little bit of a run on that top lane. Sheldon Creed is bump drafting Eric Almirola, and look at that run that Almirola gets right there, guys. He goes ahead and almost clears the 54. They get right up to Connor Zilisch in second place, but all of a sudden the momentum dies right there when they're not connected. So just natural AI plate racing right there. And right here, oh my gosh. So that's huge. Look at the bump we just gave Almirola there. We did Sheldon Creed. And now look at this. Now look at Taylor Gray and Connor Zilisch. They go up to the top to make a move. Connor Z passing his best friend Jesse Love for the lead. Saw that momentum change and goes up to the top to take the lead away. Now we're having 2x2 racing with this AI. And you're kind of in the spot right now where if you go up to the top, you might not have any help. But look at this big push to Almirola through the middle, 3 wide there. We ditched Taylor Gray. And now we're up to third. And now Jesse Love loses all that momentum. Now he's back there in around 7th, 8th place. And just by watching this too, it really does, match that Xfinity level of competition in these plate races. Anytime that momentum changes, that guy's going to lose that lead and lose a lot of momentum very, very quick. Almirola takes the lead. Allgaier gives us a huge shove past Connor Z. And now we're going to have a huge set of momentum here. Allgaier is still pushing us through the corners. He lets off there. We get some side draft on the 19. And we're still side by side for the lead. I mean, honestly, right now, this is already great. This is really good plate racing AI right here. Trying to side draft with the 88. Sanchez tries to go up and gives the 94 a push, which he tries to. Got a nice little run here on the top. Natural progression with the run on the outside out of the high banking. It's good to have the momentum. No pushing yet, so the momentum is staying. And now look at this big push we're going to get from the 48. And he gets a little loose there. Look at that tire wear already in the 85s too, so that's natural. That rear of the car is going to pick up with any slight increase in speed, especially in the corner. So watch this. We're going to give a big push to Connor. And now Taylor Gray gives us a huge push, and the whole rear of our car is just caved in right there. So I don't know if the damage is 100% accurate on that one, but that was a huge shove from the 54. Now we got damage on the rear. But here comes a little side draft on the Connor. And right there, you guys saw we do have a rear view camera. We do have a rear camera that you guys can use, so that's cool to have that in the game. Little things like that add up. Big run here. Lots of momentum on the top. Taylor Gray giving us some momentum here, and he's going to give us a push, and he kind of misses. That could have been disastrous right there. Still a great battle here, man. I mean, you could tell the play racing here is going to be a lot of fun with the AI. Now we take the lead here. Now, this is where I want you guys to pay attention. It's something I noticed with my first watch through, my first watching of this as it was happening live in our meeting. So watch when we kind of take the lead back here. We're side by side with Connor Zilich right now, but as you can see, the side draft starting to work. We're getting a little side draft here off the corner. Going to go ahead and clear Connor. We get a big push from the 54 of Taylor Gray. Now watch these last 3 laps here with the AI. I'm going to go silent here. You guys watch this, and you guys tell me what you think.
Inside now. Clear inside. Two to go this time now. Try to coast a little if you can. Save us some fuel. One outside. Clear outside. One more time. All you got now. Try to save some fuel if you can. Car outside. Clear high. Amazing win. You just never cease to amaze us, driver.
Xfinity Series racing is climbing out of the car. So get on your feet and make some noise. Let's take a look at the results of this session.
All right, so that was pretty cool. We did see a really good finish there. As you guys could probably tell, the AI definitely picked up a lot of aggression there in the last 2 to 3 laps of the race, which is a really neat touch right there. Was it planned? I don't know. But if the AI tends to understand when it's the end of the race and they pick up that aggression, that is awesome. So right here you see Nick Sanchez trying to go to that top there with a big push behind him. He's still going to commit to that. Sheldon Creed's bump drafting him. We're going to go up and give him a block, and then immediately we're going to come down here and block Carson Quaffle as Ross Chastain is trying to make that 3 wide move work. And great block in here. We're going to move up and block that middle lane. Chastain's got a bit of a run, and look at Jesse Love kind of push Chastain out of the way and try to make that 3 wide work, and you take the win here. So again, play racing AI so far, no complaints whatsoever. I feel pretty good about that. Now this is where people may have some question marks here. So here is your victory lane celebration for winning a race. You get out of the car, you do some very mild fist bumps, and that's it. That's it. Yeah, so a lot of people might not be happy about this, and I'm definitely one of those that isn't too happy about this either. I think having burnouts in a NASCAR game is just a staple. It's a great way of just celebrating, tune up some music, and have a great time. And also, the victory lane celebration seems to be at the very end of pit road when you roll off for qualifying, and your crew just kind of looks at you and claps at you like you just won the big race in Days of Thunder, and with some mild fist pumps, and that is your celebration. I know quite a few people, including myself, that aren't really the biggest fans of that. Now, some people may look at that and be like, Sloppy, it's not that big of a deal. And listen, you're right. It doesn't take away from the racing aspect, it doesn't take away from what the game is truly about. But if you really want to make a true NASCAR gaming experience, one of the things that to me is a very huge asset is to make sure that you put everything in the game that a driver experiences. And iRacing has really nailed that with the pre-racing vibes and everything, the PA announcers in the background, all that stuff. It's all there. But having burnouts in a NASCAR game is just, to me, a very important small part of what makes the whole NASCAR gaming experience a whole entire thing. If you're celebrating a win at Daytona, I mean, at the very least, we could have maybe had victory lane in the grass or something, or maybe park the car by the finish line, like you're about to have one of those on-track interviews that everyone just loves so much on their TVs. I'm being sarcastic about that, but you get what I'm saying. Even one of those, or maybe even just like a classic NASCAR Thunder '04 victory lane, with just the sponsor of the race on a big whiteboard, and you're just clapping and holding the trophy up in your air. Even something like that, I think, would be beneficial or better than what we have right there. I don't know if that's a placeholder, but not really a big fan of the celebration aspect if you win a race. So I'm not really a big fan about that. But yeah, listen, overall, I gotta say, I know a lot of people were really scared about the plate package, especially in those trailers that we saw. And I'll be honest, I was definitely a little worried myself. But it definitely looks like the plate racing on the AI side, it really seems like the AI racing on the plate tracks has taken a huge step forward from the early footage that we saw. Again, this is the Xfinity series, so I can't just sit here and say it's the same as the next gen, aka the Cup series and everything. They are two different packages for the most part, but it definitely looks like we're gonna have a lot of fun on the play racing side. And I know the AI, they already announced that it was tuned to the point where they didn't want to wreck technically. That might be why Harrison Burton moved up a little bit. That might be why, Justin Allgaier didn't want to spin at that point. But you know what? I'll give iRacing a lot of props here, because they could have not showed us any of this whatsoever, but they're confident in their product and they know there's things that still need to be worked on and everything. Not everything is perfect, but overall, just from the plate racing gameplay that I saw right here, I left it with a smile on my face, honestly. I mean, I really do think we're in a much better position now than we have been in past NASCAR games close to this launch period and everything. And I know people aren't going to be happy with the burnouts not being in there or a proper victory lane celebration. I'm one of those people who enjoys that. I mean, I enjoy winning races and, burning it down after and, jamming to my Spotify NASCAR playlist and everything and just having a great time. But I really hope that's something that could be added maybe before the launch or maybe as a post-launch update or patch, just to give a little bit more of that true, genuine racers experience for the common, casual, or competitive player. Again, this was kind of a live experience that me and some content creators got to be a part of. We got to have a really awesome talk with some of the NASCAR 25 / iRacing developers about NASCAR 25 and what their vision is in year one. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone again, all of the iRacing team, the NASCAR 25 team, aka iRacing Studios, for inviting me to this. And I will have more gameplay videos dropping very, very soon in regards to some other tracks that we were shown as well. What do you guys think about the Xfinity racing here at Daytona? Are you excited to go on the high banks of Daytona or Talladega or even Echo Park Speedway and get some bump drafting going? Let me know down below, guys. Make sure to leave a like and comment. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay sloppy, everyone.